Look, I have audio now of Fabian Galata telling me back then, during my case with my daughter, Tiara, that, and Amber Burton, excuse me, it's not the same. I guess the person that he's talking about on their board is spelled with an A, and hers is spelled with a U. My point is this. I have audio of the two of them, and I think it's got video with it that where they're telling me, both Fabian Galata and Amber Burton are telling me that, and I'm gonna give it to James and let him deal with all of the editing and all that stuff and dealing with the legalities of it because he is my husband, and we've got blood documentation of that, so there's no confusion. I've got audio of them telling me that they did not run a search as to whether or not I was married. And then they did, and they found out that I was. Oops, they bad. And so the judge had already known that I was married to James, and she didn't, if it was a lie, she was supposed to tell me, okay? She never did that. She led me to know without saying that I was correct about my marriage with him. And so, and if they have all the videos and audios, because there's only two places that box would have been at, that one box that they would have needed the key for. Jeremy would have had it, or, because that's, if I'm not mistaken, I handed it over to them, and I don't believe I ever got it back. And they would have had permission to get the key and to look at the evidence and copy it and give a copy to law enforcement or to Department of Justice. And it's in there as verification, the videos and audio, the actual phones that I used for that. When I have copies of those, and I've got SD cards with copies of the those video and audio recordings where they had Fabia Galata had, again, they had told me that they did not do a search to my marriage to James, and by the time they did, oops, they bad. And that's really, really nasty. That's a violation of my right to religious freedom. I don't believe Fabian was focused on the LWBTQ stuff. I think it was other people that were trying to be sensitive to him. And he kept saying it was Kendra's fault. It was Kendra's fault. And I couldn't figure out why. Kendra. The only thing that I could place with that would have been my uncle Kenny Falk, who I knew had been to the house. And my mom had said if anything happened, she was going to put him in charge. And so she told me that if David wound up in charge, to contest it because he had molested me and my brother. So there's other things here that people don't know about that are going to come out in this. And I'm going to let my husband deal with all of that. I'm just going to focus on healing and trying to get better. So, because my family, I got to think of my kids and all of that. And I just didn't know because I gotten so frustrated with people just telling me no all the time. No, you're not going to get help. Screw you. Ha, ha, ha. That it came to the point where I was like, whatever, and moved on. And I started moving on. So I did not know that he had caught it and was seeing all these things. And he's like, my girlfriend's underwear. And so after I seen him Friday or last week, after I had seen him and ran into him last week, and I had to pray to God, what is the purpose in this? That's why I didn't say anything right then and there. But again, with that being said, it's there's reasons you let God. That's why you don't panic, you don't freak out. You let God help you direct your path where those types of things are concerned. Don't get upset about it. Why? You can't control it. And what's the path I want? Okay, he wouldn't be in my face for nothing. So let that sink in. I had to come to that part. So there's where that sits. And the purpose of that, the whole purpose to begin with was reunification. And there are people that are mad because they don't see it the way I do as far as getting the hard stuff with regards to my dozer put in there. And I'll let them deal with that because how many years has it been? It shouldn't have had to take that long. And their intent. You got people that intended to hurt us that were on the board at Project Veritas. That's really nasty. That's not how you do that. That's not their place. With God's love. God bless America. Have a blessed day. Back the badge and support the Purple Gang.